mobile home industry. From the bottom to the top, he climbed the ladder of success. Investing in them trailers, he was bound to impress. Started off with nothing, just a dream in his mind. But he had that fire burning, couldn't be confined. He saw potential in the mobile homes, a hidden treasure. Flipped him like a pro, turned him into a real estate pleasure. Garcia, the mobile home king. He's got the vision and the game, he's still progressing. From trailers to mansions, making moves so bold, turning those wheels into gold. The story never gets old. He bought him low, fix him up.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Mobile Home Confessions in Cars. I am burning up. It is so hot here. Houston, Texas. Lone Star State, Texas. My gosh, I said we're going to be in this market soon, but it is hot. Had to get myself a cowboy hat, of course. We're ready. I think we're ready. Cool me down a little bit. Got a treat for y'all today. Got the investor, park owner, operator joining us a little bit later, Mr. Marlin. Can't wait to bring him on. Awesome guy. We've done a lot of podcasts in the past. He does education as well. But first of all, as usual, let's get to the car. So in today's episode, we are in, I wish I had AC, but we are in a 2022 Slingshot. So this is not a car and it's not a motorcycle. It's like a crossover of a car and a motorcycle. They're sporty, they're fun. So it does have a motorcycle engine, which is a 2.4 4-cylinder producing a whopping 170 horsepower. Not bad for what it is. It's not as heavy as a car like I mentioned, so it'll go. It's fun. It's safer because it's a 3-wheel tricycle. Maybe a little bit safer, and we're not going to be wild with it, but we are going to have some fun. We're going to take it out on these very, very hot Texas streets. We're going to play around with it before we go get Marlin, and we're going to have some fun. So absolutely. Now let's talk about the investor that's going to be with us today, Mr. Marlin. He is out of Houston, Texas. We're visiting him. We're going to go meet up at hopefully somewhere a little cooler. And we're going to talk about, now this guy, he's phenomenal. This guy has done wonderful. He started out much like me with one mobile home, and he produced, and he multiplied, and he continued. I mean, he just kept on and on. And I mean, today he owns 3 mobile home parks. He is developing a 4th one. He's into real estate. He does coaching. I am sweating. That's sweat. That's real sweat. I don't need cardio today. I'm going to go stand out there for a few minutes. And he's done great. He gives back a lot. He coaches people. And when you hear him speak, you're going to just see tips, nuggets, education just pours out of him. The guy's an open book. He's phenomenal, which is why we stay in connection with him. We've done, like I said, some podcasts in the past. Go check him out. Great guy. He's very knowledgeable. Mobile home parks, mobile homes, moving them, developing land. I mean, he knows it. And that's why he's on here. So nothing else to be said. Let's go have a little fun. Let's go get in some more hots. And let's go pick up Marlin.
Yo, let me tell you about a chapter that's all about exploring exit strategies. No room for doubt. In mobile home investments, we got it made. Diverse options to get paid. Let's get it straight. Wholesaling's the game. If you want quick dough, no major investments, just one-time blow.
So here we are with Marlin now. Now it's too hot to stay in the Slingshot, so we'll ride that around a little bit more. So Marlin, how you doing?
Great, how about yourself, man?
Very good, man. I think Georgia's hot. Florida's even hotter. This is a whole different type of heat.
Yes, sir,
it's
it
hot.
is.
This is my 3rd shirt, by the way. So, and the Slingshot didn't help. There's no top on it. But anyway, so Marlin, I brought you in earlier, introduced you, and obviously you're doing great things in the mobile industry. The community is growing, and you're part of it. You contribute to it a lot. But how long have you been in this industry?
Man, I've been in the industry a little bit over 18 years now.
Over a decade?
Yeah, well over a decade. From single family mobile homes to parks. So we've been growing as we go.
You did single family before you got into?
Well, I got into single family,
okay.
Single family homes, and that's what kind of drove me into mobile homes because of return.
Yeah.
So it's much more return than mobile homes.
Quicker, simpler, absolutely. Yeah. Right. So now you went from, did you do any more like what we call line of deal fixer-uppers, or did you immediately jump into a park?
No, I started off with the line of deals. I used to buy
Yeah.
mobile homes out of parks, fix them up, put them on one lot, and grow like that. So I was buying a lot at the time, mobile home at a time, fix them up, rent it out, and I just kept doing that until I got into the parks.
Yeah. So what made you pull that, let me get into parks now, just that next level?
Yeah, it was the next level. You know,
Yeah.
renting out, instead of renting out the mobile homes, now I'm just renting out the land, so renting spaces out. I'm tired of, fixing toilets and all that
Landlord.
good stuff. So tired of the
Wow.
normal, typical landlord stuff. So now I'm just renting out spaces, renting land out.
Yeah, for sure.
For mobile homes.
So you don't own none of the homes inside of the community. It's all resident or investors you deal with?
So particularly everything I do right now, I have one investor that I brought in, but everything we own right now, I own personally, I own still own a few mobile homes
Okay.
in some of the parks that I bought because they were in decent shape, and so I still it makes sense for me to own those and rent those out. But majority of my stuff is all lot rent.
Yeah, for sure. So, and guys, for those of you tuning in for the first time, I mean, mobile home investing is opportunities. You know, you can start out with no money, little money, and to start out with that one. Lonnie deal is more so take a beat up fixer-upper, fix it, make it livable, rent it out, or sell it. So little money into it, low risk, low entry. And then you like Marlin, now he has a park. So tell me more about that park. Are we far from the park?
We are far from, about 40 minutes from one of the
40
parks.
minutes, okay.
Yeah, so
One of them, how many you got?
I have 3 parks now.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, and you develop them all.
No, I developed one and then the other 2 I bought.
Okay, that's
Right.
interesting, yeah. Now, the market here, I mean, obviously high need and demand. I've done my research. I thought about when I do jump into Texas, start out Dallas. I don't know why Dallas, Fort Worth, and kind of, I mean, this state is so big. It's just,
Right.
I mean, unreal. I actually grew up in Midland, Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of that.
I have heard of Mentorship, yeah.
Yeah, so funny
Old
enough,
town.
yeah, that's basically just flat land. So
Right.
I've actually gotten calls from there, with sort of our branding and that sort of thing. So you kind of need one day to maybe venture into
There
that
you
there.
go. Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. But I mean, what about the demand here? I mean,
So the demand here, it's great to talk about that. The demand here is awesome, right? You have the high rents for apartments, for single family homes are through the roof. So of course, the mobile homes, that gives some folks some affordable living, affordable housing, and that demand is driven up like crazy. We got customers, got folks that come in that can't afford the high rents anymore. So mobile homes, single family mobile homes on a piece of land or in a park is a great opportunity. So the demand is great.
what is an apartment? One bed, one bath around here?
Man, if in the area we're in right now, one bedroom, one bath apartment is around $1,800.
Really?
Yes.
Good.
And so the folks here that know anything about Houston, we're in the Galleria area. So
Okay.
that's a nice area in Houston.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's hot.
So
Again, I'm saying.
$1,800 a month, whereas we can drive 15-20 minutes away, get a single family or get a mobile home and pay around $800-900 a month for the
More
mobile
than-
home.
more than half.
Or you can pay $500 for lot rent and move your own mobile home on that lot.
That was my next question: is lot rents? Is that about average around here? $500?
Anywhere from like 400 to like 700-800 in some areas.
Okay. So, but again, you're talking about 1,800 for a one bedroom. You can get a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom mobile home for 800.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's there. I mean, mobile homes are the last of affordability housing. That's
Absolutely.
all there is to it. So, now Marlon, you also coach. I've had you on my other podcast before. We've
Right.
jumped on some of the live calls and coached people. So you've contributed in that. A lot of people, a lot of investors that are in mobile homes are now saying, "Oh, it's getting too congested. There's too many investors." Granted, 7 years ago, I ain't been in it 18 years like him, but 7 years ago when I got started, it was definitely a lot more. There's always been investors,
Right.
but it was a lot more quiet. People
Right.
just kind of kept to themselves. Where now, people are kind of everywhere. There's a mobile home investor, a bird dog, a flipper, you name it.
You have the signs everywhere.
Yeah. Oh,
I buy mobile homes.
so you got those around here as well.
Absolutely everywhere. Yeah.
Hey, those are people to network with, by the way, so keep that in mind. But do you think it's getting too congested at this point?
Well, I would say yes and no, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
It's getting congested because of the help of social media. Man, with social media, before, they had social media 10 years ago, but everybody wasn't talking about mobile homes,
Yeah.
And so the more folks get on social media, And then the pandemic happened. Everybody's been on social media, and everybody's talking about mobile
It
homes
is.
and buying mobile homes now, right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Is it getting congested? A lot of people are jumping in, but a lot of people don't have a follow through. So people getting in, they're learning the business, and they want to do it. They make a, they one
We're
or
gonna
two,
talk
three
about
deals,
that.
make a great sum of money, then they back out. So is it congested? Yes, because a lot of folks are starting to know about it, but everybody's not following through, doing their due diligence and following through and actually making a business out of it. Now, let me say one more thing.
Go.
So, sorry about that, but
No.
on the park side, it's getting congested because now you got a lot of folks jumping in, buying parks, driving the cost of parks up. So
messing up the comps everywhere.
So yeah, it is getting congested on that end.
Couple things on that, and before I do touch upon it, now previous podcasts, if y'all seen the Mobile Home Confessions in Cars, other episodes, I've called out contractors. I've called out investors, park owners. I'm about to call you students out here in a few minutes, but it's almost like two different worlds though. It's like you got the mobile homes and then you got the mobile home parks. So from your standpoint, and that was going to be a question for me, it's like, everybody seems to now see the idea, see the benefits and the ROIs, like you said, when it comes to parks.
Right.
I know investors leaving single families, commercial apartments to get into mobile home parks.
Right.
How many calls do you get on average selling your park?
I get them all the time. Of course, people do these marketing campaigns. They look you up. They see who own the park, so they constantly call you, want to buy your park. And I even do the same to other investors as well. But everybody want to buy a park, and everybody want to get into the space. It's a real popular space now.
Yeah.
Because of the return.
Yeah. I mean, lucrative. No doubt it is lucrative. So, Marlin, this is a very busy area.
Very busy, yes, sir.
I like it. It seems cool, calm, collect, but it's busy. Yeah, I didn't do my full research on Houston. Not yet. Well, we're going to drive around once it cools down. So, investors, I'm going to call y'all out for a slight second because Marlin said something that's huge. I've heard it being said like this, Marlin. They said, nothing works unless you do. And I think a lot of people have this idea of a Superman pill, maybe. Like, well, if I get Marlin to teach me a little bit, it's just going to be billions pouring my way. It's simple, but it ain't easy.
Right.
And you got to be consistent. We have a lot of students who come to us, and we love them all, but you can tell which ones are going to follow through and which ones don't. Why do you think people lose the interest or the focus to stay committed, keep going, and make a real result out of it?
Well, it's like anything. I'm going to tell you a saying that I was always taught. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. So you might see somebody like Mr. Garcia or myself or other influencers on social media, and we talking about the deals we're doing. Some people talk about the money you're making. Some people show you the lifestyle they're making. And the first thing you want is what we have, right? They show you that golden, that shiny out, and everybody want that lifestyle.
End result.
So wait a minute, but before you get that end result, you gotta go back and learn what I have to go through to get to where I'm at. And so that's why I think students get caught up at. They'll see someone like myself or Mr. Garcia or anyone else talking about this topic, mobile home investing, and say, "Oh, that's easy. That's an easy niche. I can jump into it." But you don't want to do the follow through. You don't want to do the hard work. I mean, your first deal is not going to be the best deal, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of late nights. It's a lot of phone calls. It's a lot of hustling and grinding to get to where we're at. But you can do it. You just gotta do the follow through.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get your first park?
Man, it took me 11 years before I got my first park.
There you go.
Yeah, so I was buying a lot at a time.
Almost a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade. I was buying a lot. First you have to find out where I can put mobile homes at. So I was, we looking up ordinances in different little cities or towns and seeing where I could put a mobile home at. Then I find a lot. Then I do the due diligence on a lot, find a mobile home, put it on a lot, rehab the mobile home, rent it out. That's what I did for over a decade.
Yeah.
And I just started accumulating. And then I finally got into parks.
Yeah, see, some of you have been in it a month, and you think you're going to acquire success. It doesn't work that way. You got to put in the work. But, Marlin, I think that the best mobile home park owner operators are those they start out like you and I. And I say that because it's almost like, think about it, and I hate to use as an example, but almost like in a corporate world where you're climbing up the ladder. Once you're getting up higher, it's like you know all those going to. By the time 11, 12 years into it, you got into your first park. I'm sure there was little you didn't know about the
Right, absolutely.
You've been there, done that, seen that. I mean, you basically know how to do this better than most park owners.
Absolutely. And so what you get now is the folks that want to buy parks, they calling people like me to partner with, because they don't know nothing about parks. They just have a whole bunch of money and have nowhere to put it because the interest rates are so high, right? So they want to park their money somewhere. They want to park in their parks, and they want to partner with someone that has skin in the game, have some knowledge about the mobile home park industry. So
Yeah, for sure. So, what would you say is your best win with the mobile homes or mobile home parks?
oh, definitely mobile home parks.
Okay.
I've had some great return. And well, let me put it like this: I've had a mobile home since 2000 and maybe 4 or 5. It was given to me. I had to do some rehab to it. I probably put like $5,000 in it. It took me like $3,000 to move it to my property. So I'm roughly all in around 10 grand, right?
Okay.
I bought it in 04, 05. I still own that today. It's been paying me like $750 a month, for over 15, 18 years. So I still have that mobile home. So that's a great return, right? But then if you get into mobile home parks, I like to find parks that need a great deal of work, some rehab to it. Turn that park around. The return is crazy through the roof, right? And so I flipped a couple of parks like that.
Okay.
And that's a bunch of great return at one time. So
Yeah. No, for sure. So, and back to touch upon, a lot of people have a lot of money. One of the things I've seen is parks handed down to generations. So now it's son-in-law or daughter, and they're clueless because they never really were involved.
Right.
So I mean, but that is another entry into it. It's like maybe people like you can be somebody to go to, a mentor, a partner. I mean, guys, it ain't all about the money.
No.
If you've been doing the sweat equity, you hold something very valuable.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind. But biggest fail.
Yeah.
What was the biggest fail you think?
My biggest fail.
They're all wins.
No, and unfortunately, in mobile home park world, there's a lot of wins. Because even a fail is a win, right?
There you go.
My biggest fail probably would be not doing a deal I should have done. I had too much going on at one time, and this guy wanted me to purchase a park, and I was just, I had too many deals going on at one time. I didn't purchase it, and it was a great price. I could tell you about the park. It was 43 spaces. This was like 2 years ago. It was like 43 spaces. It needed a lot of work. All the mobile homes need to be hauled out. I knew they did. I had talked to the city. They allowed the park to stay in existence, but they wanted all the homes hauled out. Great area. They was just putting expanding the freeway in this area. It's in a Tomball area for people that's familiar with Houston. Close to the Woodlands. So great area. And I could have got the park for like $400,000. After repair value, if I would have, got with some investors, brought new homes in, 43 space park would have been worth well over $3 million.
Wow.
But I just had so much to do.
You didn't wholesale it?
I didn't wholesale. It was just a lot of work that need to be done to
Yeah,
it.
sure.
And I told a few folks about it, but it was so much work, so much cleanup that the city wanted. They wanted paved roads in. I mean, it all could have been done, but the upside would have been great.
Sure.
But so I didn't touch it. So that's my biggest fail because I could have did it.
There you go. Well, but you live and learn. And
Absolutely.
I like to think the best teacher we have is always failures.
It is.
Yeah, because if you stay down, then that's on you. But if you keep going, it's like, I will not do that again.
Right.
Now, Marlin, one thing I love about mobile home investing, and this is again, you're seeing a more of an end result. I'm nowhere near finished, and I know Marlin is not. But you're seeing now more of the success side. One of the things I can say is freedom. I'm here with you now.
Right.
I decided to come out here to Houston, Texas, just to record a podcast, a recording.
Right.
So talk about you fired your day job years ago. Tell us about that.
So, and this is interesting, right? So I worked at a local energy company out here for 22 years, and I had been investing the whole time, and I've been wanting to leave. I had to pray on it, man. And I prayed, and God never gave me that go until this one day He gave me the go to fire my job. So now have what we call freedom. I think everybody wants time freedom. Time freedom is great. Now that I'm almost 4 years into time freedom, have time to do exactly anything I want, I have to realize, I have a bunch of folks calling me when I mentor people. I tell them be careful when you want time freedom because you have to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined with your time, you'll waste a whole bunch of time, right? So time freedom is great as long as you got the disciplined mindset. So it's nothing that's better than I can meet Mr. Garcia. I can go have lunch right after this. I can do exactly anything I want to do. I don't miss no kids games, no birthday parties, no anniversaries. I don't miss none of that.
Yeah. Time management. It's all you got. You definitely got time management. That's a whole nother thing. Something you got to learn throughout. But no, for sure. Freedom. All of you can have it if you do it. You do right by. So
absolutely.
What do you think about the slingshot, Marlin?
Slingshot is nice, man. I was telling you, I rode one of those from Houston to Mississippi.
How many hours was that?
It was like a 8-hour ride on the slingshot, and we stopped. I was following some other folks that's in a biking group, so we probably stopped every hour and a half, 2 hours. But they had like a little bike rally up there, Harley Davidson bike rally, and it was pretty cool. Slingshot is nice.
Absolutely. We'll drive it around a little bit more here in a few minutes, but. Lastly, tell me a crazy story. I know you got plenty being in this niche, this market. We talked about this in the previous episodes. Crazy stuff. Give me a crazy story.
A crazy story concerning mobile home parks.
Sure, or mobile homes, or
mobile
tenants.
Oh wow! One of my craziest stories was trying to evict someone out of a mobile home. Okay, cool. So when you go to court to try to evict someone from a mobile home, they have different set of laws than regular regular single family homes. And so these folks did their due diligence and I had not. And so I was trying to put them out, and it took me over a year and a half to get these folks out. Yeah, they knew they knew the game.
Professional renters.
Yeah. So basically, they had owned a trailer in my park, and I thought I could just evict them, and I couldn't because they owned the trailer. And so the judge came back and said, well, you have to give them a notice. So I gave them a notice to move their trailer. And when I gave the notice, I gave them like a 120-day notice, but I had to give them a reason. I had to, in writing, give them a reason for me get one of their trailer out of there. And I couldn't just evict the trailer out of there. So I gave them a reason, went back to court, and it took over like a year, man, just to get those folks out of there. And every time, the crazy thing is, every time after we went to court like 3 times. Every time I went to court, I go back to my park, they're on the porch laughing. I told you you were gonna move us out, I told you you were gonna get us out. And it was frustrating me, but the lesson I learned was, when you evicted someone from a mobile home park, do your due diligence. Get with an attorney, consult an attorney. Don't try to figure it out on your own. I thought I could get online and Google this information, and it didn't work. It wasn't until I got an attorney and got the real correct way to evict somebody out of a mobile home park in Texas, because it's different from everywhere you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Every city, county, state, keep that in mind, is a different rule. But wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think the longest we ever had one was 6 months. And same thing. They knew how to work the system.
Right.
They were pulled just enough to where the judge was like, well, let's postpone it. And it seemed like they just bought themselves time.
And also, this was during COVID. So
that didn't help none.
That didn't help none. No. They kept trying to get us to work together, and I tried to work with the folks. They just didn't want to pay. So it was one of those scenarios. And the mobile home was in a bad shape. It was in real bad shape, and I was trying to rehab this park. So that's another reason I want the mobile home out of there. And that's what I told them initially. I want to rehab my park. Well, that wasn't the reason you could kick somebody out of a mobile home park. Just because you want to rehab it, So it was a crazy story. That was a lesson learned.
Absolutely. Marlin, before we go, because you're a mentor, you're a coach, you're somebody to look up to, what is one piece of advice you could give to anybody, no matter where they're starting out from, getting into mobile home investing?
One piece of advice I would say, man, I started a single family, jumped over to mobile home parks and mobile home parks. We talking about people flooding the market. So right now, interest rates are high. The prices of parks are through the roof. I'm still seeing some deals. So some people do some owner finance, and we're being creative financing parts. But one piece of advice I would tell you is mobile homes are great, but don't be scared to maybe venture into something else until the prices come back down.
Open-minded.
Keep your mind open. You got to be able to diversify, right? So mobile homes, continue to buy them. The prices are all going up, but I think you can still get into them. You can still find good deals. You just got to do your homework, do your research, do marketing. You'll still find some good deals out there. And whatever you do, don't give up, because folks been flipping mobile homes since the 70s. I mean, we just didn't ever know about it. It wasn't popular like it is now. It was a lot of deals back then. We call it whatever we call it now, but just don't give up, because the value is there. The deals are still there. People are still, you still got old mobile homes out there, and people still want to buy new mobile homes. If you think about it, you got all these Clayton homes and all these mobile home, commercial mobile home stores that sell mobile homes. Well, it's limited spaces where those mobile homes can go. So you got to think about it. There's so much zoning all over the country, you can't put mobile homes nowhere. So these new mobile home manufacturers are building these mobile homes, and they have to have somewhere for them to go. Well, they're going in new parks, not new parks, but existing parks, majority of the time. So if they're going in existing parks, they have to move an old mobile home out to put the new one in. That's why you come in. You get that old mobile home and you flip it to someone else. So if you're getting started with single mobile homes, that's a great place to start. Looking at parks. They get rid of old mobile homes all the time.
And I'll tell you, he's like an open book. He's going to lay it out. And that's what we do with this communities. We share, we give back, and we add value. I told you Marlin was going to share a bunch of tips, nuggets. Hope you take that. You should be taking those. But thank y'all for joining me. Marlin, thank you for coming on here.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for watching this episode.
All right.